What did you think of Whoopi Goldberg saying it's worse to be a black person in America today than a woman in Iran? You know, I see we were talking about the trans issue before, and the New York Times really has come over on that to the sort of the sensible, liberal, not crazy woke position. I think this is a great first step toward getting the Democrats back to sanity, and a second good step would be we got to do something about The View. I really believe that. I mean, could you just
it's huge in Iran, though.
Bill, you know, when I
mention The View in Iran, all with the same head cover. You can't even tell which one is which.
My district,
Some used to call me the Persian princess because, folks, that's where I grew up. Yep, I grew up in Tehran, where I was forced to line up at school and chant "Death to America" over and over again, chanting for the destruction of the country of my birth. That was never going to happen. I used to silently mouth the words but never actually say it. That was my little act of resistance in primary school. In Iran, I was forced to wear a dehumanizing hijab just to be allowed to attend school. This is a country where family members and family friends were targeted by the Islamist regime, arrested, beaten, and yes, even some were killed. Where having a picture of the Shah was tantamount to a death sentence. That's the Iran I grew up in, a country that went from being relatively modern, free and secular to being an Islamist hellhole. After the Islamic Revolution, women were stripped of their rights and they remain to this day second-class citizens. Women can be arrested, beaten, some have even been killed for just showing their hair. So you can understand why this week I was fascinated to learn that no, women in Iran don't have it so bad. Indeed, folks in America, if they happen to be black or gay, have it far worse. Well, that's what you'd think if you were watching the spectacularly stupid ravings of Whoopi Goldberg on The View.
The Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
Where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
Yes, Whoopi thinks it's the same. She thinks America and Iran are the same. The human rights abuses are the same. The fact that more than 90 million people are oppressed in Iran, and women doubly so, systematically subjugated by a brutal regime, she thinks that's the same as America. That is the modern left, folks. Dumb, dishonest, and dangerously delusional.
And that's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good, whoever does it. It's not good. So that's why I said you weren't saying what I heard was not what you meant.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
Not if you're black. Really? So crime happening in America, a black person killing another black person, for example, for which the perpetrator will be punished, is the same in Whoopi's warped mind as the state killing you because you're a minority, because you're gay or an infidel, for example. Let me be clear. The Iranian regime will hang you from a crane in the public square for crimes like blasphemy, witchcraft, homosexuality, and of course, if you dare show any dissent, if you challenge the brutal regime. Whoopi thinks that's pretty much how black folks are treated in America. You absolute disgrace of a human being, Whoopi, to show absolutely no regard for the Iranian women who risk their lives to challenge the Islamist government, to minimise their struggle and compare it to your fever dreams about oppression in America in 2025. You know, it's been sickening to witness the backflips from so many leftist feminists who just 3 years ago said they stood with the women of Iran as they fought against the country's oppressive hijab laws. The Women Life Freedom Uprising has long been forgotten, it seems, by the left, who would rather rail against Trump and Israel than be honest about the threat a nuclear Iran poses to the region and to the world. But let's get back to Whoopi, whose pathetic tantrum was cheered on by the View's equally pathetic and dim-witted audience.
But I think it's important we remember there are places much darker than this country and people who deserve rights.
Not everybody feels that way. Not everybody feels that way. Listen, I'm sorry. You know, when you think about the fact that we got the vote in 1965.
Okay, they don't have free and fair elections in Iran. It's not even the same universe.
They can't go out of their house. The women.
You know what? There's no way I can make you understand.
No, let me try something. It's like try to reverse roles with a black person in this country, let's say, because I think that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Just try to understand from their point of view. From that point of view, this country does not do them well. Does not go.
Yes, thanks, Joy. Black folks in America have it as bad as the people in Iran. Thanks for that, Joy Behar, you simpleton clown. Did you know people in Iran can be arrested, tortured, and executed for peacefully protesting against the government? Women taking off their hijab to protest the hijab laws can be arrested, tortured, even killed. You can be sentenced to death for sodomy, homosexuality, adultery, political dissidence, blasphemy, for repeated consumption of alcohol, pornography, for crimes that fall under waging war against God, and for spreading corruption on earth. Amnesty International reports that Iran in 2024 was responsible for 64% of all recorded executions worldwide. It's one thing to be anti-war, but to carry water for a backward and brutal Islamist government is a new low for the modern left, and it follows a trend we've seen since October 7, when the progressive activist class decided it was fashionable to be virulently anti-Semitic.